Harry,
Yes.
welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Make sure it's not too loud, just the sound where we need to. Hopefully I'm still there.
You are still here, mate. I can hear you.
Put it there.
Oh, hello, mate. How are we?
I'm good. I've got some interesting questions. A little bit different to what probably everyone's used to as well.
Yep.
So I always sort of start with a nice backstory of everyone, just to make sure that we're kept up to date with...
Yeah, I just want to see you.
Oh, you want to see me?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I want to
sorry.
see you a bit. Just
Okay.
so, yeah.
And we want to hear about... Well, I want to hear about younger Harry.
Yeah.
And who you were before a PT. I guess you can sort of talk about how far back you want to go.
Yeah.
I know you did landscaping or at least labouring for them, and that's about it really. So you can give me a rundown of what footy Harry was like, maybe what high school Harry was like, and your lead up into PT.
Yeah, okay. So pretty much I started at Epping Boys. I'll start from my high school journey. It's probably easy to do that. I've been playing footy for 20 years now, 19 years, around there. So it's always been in my bread and butter pretty much. So growing up, just a really sporty kid. Just love sport, like anything to get into the playground. I used to get in trouble in year 4 for coming back to class too red-faced from playing sport too much. My teacher used to tell me off and sit me outside for a bit to cool down. Because apparently I look like a tomato or something. She'd feel like, no, you can't come in. This is not good. Like, you got to stop working so hard or something like that. I was like, whoa, settle down.
What, as in like it's dangerous?
Just love sports, yeah. She thought I was going to overheat and pass out or something, but I just love sports. I was just very pale as a kid, so probably red was, didn't look too good.
White versus red here.
Yeah, pretty much. So, anyway, at school, was there all through my schooling term at Epping Boys High School. Was there since year 7 to year 12. Pretty much went there for the rugby. So played it since year 7, loved it. Wasn't the most popular kid at the start in the first 3 terms, but then became...
Why?
I don't know, I just sort of stayed with the Epping group that I was with back at school, just because I came from Epping Public. Epping North was next to us, and I just stayed with the Epping boys. We were on the 295 bus, used to get on it all the time, and it was just the only bus that gets you from North Epping. So
Versus what? What were the other kids with?
North Ride boys and stuff like that, all around that area. Okay, we don't come from very vast areas, but it's just we didn't know anyone. Epping boys would just know, Epping Public would just know around North Epping area. So probably wasn't the coolest kid at the start, but then I sort of got into this new group with all these other boys, and we've been best mates since now. I don't know, they were there at my first grade debut and cheering me on and stuff like that. Best bunch of blokes you ever meet in your life. So it's good I met them. But yeah, so schooling was good. Did not like the academics part. Was not the best at it. I only apply myself in the things I like. So for example, I was good at PDH. I'd be good in probably that's about it, PDH, because that's the only thing I cared about. I was all right at maths and English, and, I just sort of got into the classes, didn't do my best jobs, but I was pretty much there for the sport. Just loved playing footy. I thought I was just going to be a professional footy player by the age of, when I went to high school, it's that's the only thing I'm going to do. There's nothing else. That's my destiny. There's no other way anything else is going to happen, but I'm going to be a footy player. I told my teachers, they used to go, oh, what are you going to do if footy doesn't happen? I'm like, well, they used to say footy or fucked. That's it. You either make it footy or you're fucked. I know. Sorry for swearing.
That's what you used to say?
Yeah. Boys used to say footy or fucked. And
yeah.
It's just it's pretty much what's going to happen. So once I hit year 10, started making really good selective teams. I was lucky enough to get paid by Bill Pulver, who was the CEO of Australian Rugby, to travel South Africa and captain the CHS New South Wales side. So I was lucky to do that, and then unfortunately a few injuries came up. I wasn't able to play New South Wales ones, New South Wales ones is pretty much the best players in all the schools, in all of the Catholic combined colleges, the independent schools, the GPS schools, the agricultural schools, all of them. Best 23 at the rugby, and I got selected, but I was injured, so I couldn't play. So I made the Gem Blue side, and then from there, they found my injury. I had a torn rotator cuff, ruptured bursa, pretty much couldn't play rugby for 6 months. So it's quite devastating hearing that as a young kid. I was the youngest in the team. I was 17 in the under-19s side. So they probably had some big ideas for me, but didn't really pull through. So then my last year at school, didn't make any of those teams. It's funny, you make it in year 11, you make the New South Wales one side, but you can't make it when you're in year 12 when half those boys are gone. So
Half what boys are gone? Because you were younger.
yeah, because I was younger.
Yeah.
So half those boys are already gone. So you're like, oh, I'm just a walk-in. Like I don't even need to try. Like you're pretty much going in, but turned out, nah, you're not even in the picture. I didn't even get selected for ones, New South Wales twos, all the shadows. So I was luckily enough to play for combined states, which is the rejects, you'd call it, from all the states. So, for example, they might choose 8 boys from Queensland, 4 boys from New South Wales, 6 from Victoria, ACT might get 2, and you play in the tournament as a barbarian side. And yeah, I played in that side, didn't get selected for Australian schoolboys, quite devastating, thought my life was over, because then reality hit. It's like, yeah, footy or fucked. Like, you didn't make that Aussie schoolboy side, now what? So going out of school, I was headless, didn't have any job. Didn't know where I was going. I was like, all right, just play Colts now. Or like I was in the New South Wales 7 side. I was lucky enough to be asked to play for the Australian 7s, like go to their training camp for like 2 weeks. I was in the junior youth with that, but never really made the final stage. It was always like the last, like always got cut before the final pick or something like that. So like I was always like the second best or something like that. So it was quite devastating near the end, but then eventually like came out of school and was like, okay, now what? And I had my mate called Doug, and he was doing landscaping with his mate, who he does MMA with. And I asked, oh, can you get me a job? Like, I'm doing nothing. And he's like, oh, yeah, I can ask. Then got me a job, and I was there for 2 years. And he was one of the best people I've worked for, even though, like, I don't know how to say it. Like, even though it was hard for me, I was young, I was probably, like, he allowed me to be me, which was really good. Like, his name's Michael Drake. He probably was one of the best blokes, best bosses I've had. You know, he was really nice to me, you know, allowed, like, there was some things which, obviously, probably I was young, I was like, oh, like, can I have a day off here and there? And it's just like, bro, I'm running a business. Like, I get you're a kid, but, like, I need you to work. And I was sort of like, oh, I'm sore from footy, I'm sore from this, and you'd allow it and stuff like that. But I was there for 2 years, and I was in my head going, oh, now what? What am I going to do? Like, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to just be a tradie. I'm not trying to be rude to tradies, but that's just not me. Yeah. I can't do that. I can't wake up at 7 to 3 and just, I feel like it's brain dead. I can't do it. Like, that's just not me. I don't feel obviously there is, you get your own business, you get your own workers, and obviously you create something of yourself, but that's not me. I can't do that. So I was like, nah, I got to get out of here. So I was lucky enough when I joined Gordon, his name's David Telfer, he got me a mini contract deal, and they paid for my whole PT course and stuff like that. Even asked if I wanted to go to university to pay for all that and stuff like that. So, pay a subsidy of it. All right. And then I did my PT course, and I was like, this is what I want to do. But then I didn't know how to get into it. I was like, oh, where am I going to go? Fitness First? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. So I went to Fitness First for a bit and did a bit of a trial there, and they were like, yeah, you pretty much got the job. You just got to just do this last thing. And then Brad messaged me, and he goes, oh, you thinking about doing PT still? Because we used to live in the same street, and he works for UHP, X-Gym. Everyone knows Brad if they listen to this podcast. He was like, yeah, want to give it a go? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, oh, here we go. Like, I'll rock up. And then I rocked up, did the interview, and then 2 weeks later, did my shoulder. Mm-hmm. Out of nowhere, did my shoulder. And I felt like it was a blessing in disguise, because it got me out of that job of doing landscaping, and it pretty much gave me a fresh look. Like, your shoulder's done. Your body is getting sore. You can't be you can't be doing landscaping. Yeah, it's good money, good, you know, whatever, you're in the sun, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's not sustainable. It's not long term. Like, if you're not going to work hard or get a degree in it or get business degree or start your own business, you're going to pretty much just be a working ant, which aren't bad, but that's what people do. But then I was like, nah, look, I'm going to give PT a go. And at the start, I was nervous as hell. I was so scared. I was like, oh, no, I'm going to be the worst PT in the world. But at the end of it, it turned out to be pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I love my life. I love what I'm doing. I find it so easy. Like, I think that's a big thing about life. Like, it's not easy. Like, I'm just cruising. Like, I'm still working hard, still doing everything, but it comes naturally. It doesn't feel like I got to go, oh, I'm going to work for 8 hours. It's like, nah, sweet, hectic, going to work, easy. I get to go interact with people. I have 19 clients now. I've got 19 people with 19 different problems, 19 different stories, 19 different upbringings, 19 different experiences. I'm learning every day. Like, I'm learning how to handle big human beings, people that don't have emotions, people that have a lot of emotions, people that are freaking hold their emotions on their cards, don't want to talk, want to like laugh and play. And it's like you're a teacher of big kids. It's great. You know, you got to tell them, okay, you got to eat this, you got to do that. And then them going, no, I don't want to do that. And it's like, oh shit, well, you got to do that. Like, that's the way you're going to do it. But yeah, so that's pretty much just a little upbringing in my life. Like, obviously I come from little bit of a broken family. Mum and dad have been split. I've got a brother and a sister, well, 2 sisters now. Both live in England. And yeah, so my dad lives in Lane Cove. I live with my mum now. And yeah, that's pretty much my little upbringing from there. Like, footy's been my thing. Love sports. Got into PT. Got out of landscaping, which was good. Now I'm playing Eastwood Rugby, which is great. And I'm loving my footy. Really enjoying it. Hopefully bigger and better things with footy. Footy's still a priority in my life. It's not just, you know, PT and footy are pretty much on par with what I want to do. So now I just got to take it and just make the best opportunity at this age. So yeah, that's a bit about my life.
That is a good backstory.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best we've had on this podcast.
Yeah, just because I love talking.
Well, we'll get to footy and we'll get to PT now.
Yep.
So how have you found PT? I know you talked about everyone's different. You got your 19 clients, 19 different personalities and whatnot.
Yep.
We did a podcast at the start.
Yep.
And how is it different to what you once thought? So originally you're like, oh, I'm going to be the worst PT.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, I'm probably not the worst PT, but was there a difference from when you first started to this is what it's going to be like? Now you're actually doing it. You have a big client base and you're getting people results. Is it different?
Oh, definitely. A whole, like, the confidence in my approach to PT since I first started is immense. So before, I think it came, I am a bit shy. I know you might not think that at X Gym. People are going to be like, no, you're not. Don't say that. Because I'm comfortable where I am. At the start, I was like, if anyone looked over at my barbell when I was doing squats with someone, oh my God, am I doing it wrong? Are they doing it wrong? And if people were judging me on the beer, sorry. People judging me or stuff like that. And at the start, I was just so nervous. And then I didn't back my ability. I wanted others' approval.
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think? Was that good? What do you think? What do you think? Like, is this right? Is this right? Look at the video. Look at the video. Tell me what I need to say. Not get my own philosophy, get my own, points and pull them across. And I started to realize sometimes I was saying my own points and people were listening to it. And I was getting reaction. I was getting better movements. And I was like, hey, sometimes I just got to back myself. Like, obviously, I'm not going to be 100% correct all the time. I don't think anyone in their life can say, I'm going to 100% give the best cue right now. There's probably 1,000 better cues you could have used. But if you implement it right and you see a difference and you see a change, I feel like you just got to back yourself sometimes. And that's what I started to do at the end. And then what I did is it was really good to have an approach of coaching some of the PTs. I was so scared to coach PTs because their PTs know what other PTs need to do. And other PTs know what they need to look like somewhat. So when I coached Jose, it was like, oh, I'm so nervous. Here we go. He's going to be like, oh, this guy's crap. But then all he did was this. What was great about Jose, he just taught me. He taught me more than I actually helped him. Even though I put the weights on for him, did this, he helped me. He was telling me what I needed, this is what I'm trying to do. Okay, I'm trying to do this. And all I had to do was just tell him what I think a PT is. You got to paint a picture they can't see. You got to let them know what you're seeing because they can't see it. You know how many times you see a barbell's going their bar's going fully to the right and they wouldn't even know because their perception's off. You were like, oh, Jesus, that's 15 centimeters in front of you. They're like, what? And you're like, yeah. And it's just like, oh, okay, well, what do I got to do? Okay, maybe squeeze that right lat a bit more, center the bar. This is what centered feel like. Oh, okay, and then work from there. You know what I mean? So my confidence grew by teaching, not teaching, but learning off other trainers, coaching other trainers, then to back my ability to coach people that are, as we spoke about their, what is it, age? Their training age. Coaching people that have already been in the gym for 8 years. So when someone else comes into the gym, they might have a training age of 5, but you're like, I've done people who are, I've done Jose's a national, competitor in powerlifting. You know, I've coached, like, haven't coached Brad, but like I watch over Brad. I watch over you. You know, you're not strong, are you? So you know what I mean? Like, you know what you're talking about. And even when I said some little things to you, you listen to them and go, oh, remember the deadlift thing? You're like, oh, you just picked up one thing. That was like my first 2 months. I said one thing to you and you still remember it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, after I got that, I gained confidence, and then I felt like I could be a lot better than what I was. So I just got to keep piling that on. But now I've come to this stage which is a really good stage. It's a stage where I'm going, okay, look, I've learned a lot. I've done a lot. But the thing is that there's always a right and a wrong. There's no right and wrong. That's what I would need to get. It's no right and wrong. It just needs clarification with what you're doing and a philosophy behind it. If you've got a good philosophy behind anything you do, like people go, don't bring your hips forward. It's like, oh, well, hips forward could work here. You know what I mean? So it's more just keep educating, keep learning, and trying to not block out anything else that people, like, for example, someone will be like, this is wrong. You can go, okay. You don't then go, okay, yeah, it's wrong. No, you go, okay, that's wrong in that context, but this context, this is right. So it's learning things in context, really. So I think I've come a long way. So from when I started, I was a bit, oh no. And now I'm like, still nervous. Of course, I just had a new client today, Danella, and I'm just like, oh, am I going to give her the best experience? Like, she's got a good training age. She's been in the gym. She's lost 30 kilos, you know? She's lost about 20 kilos. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? Like, it's like, no, they're paying for you. You back your ability. You've got that. You're here for a reason, and you're still in this industry for a reason. Most people drop out. Most people don't get client base. Most people are struggling. If I'm holding 19 clients, there's some of them doing right because they're not leaving. So you just keep backing your ability, and that's what I realised. You got to back your ability. You got to find your own strengths. You don't have to be the smartest. I'm not the smartest as Brad, all right? But I'm damn right will give more energy. You know, you got to just find what's good for you. Same with you. I feel like you can relate to everyone. You can listen to everyone. So, you know, that's probably what relates to you. That's why I probably like Petra. Like, you know, people will find it hard to leave you because they've created such a bond with you that it's like you're their best friend. So I feel that's what I've now created, and I just got to keep harping on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll back you, Harry.
Thanks, Dan. I'll back me too.
So you talked about you're at Fitness First, broke shoulder, and you sort of I haven't even heard this part, but Brad's like, oh yeah, come see PT.
Yeah.
And I guess there's a certain picture painted with UHP. So like, what's UHP compared to Fitness First? But basically, is UHP different to what you once thought?
Oh, 100%. I think UHP has ruined the PT, like, look at it.
Ruined?
Like, in a good way. Like, the picture which I thought a PT was is you just write a program, you do 30, 45 minutes, and you walk away. What you guys do, like, the benchmark you guys have created is ridiculous. Like, the service you guys provide is, like, the way I worded it at the start wasn't the right way. But what I'm trying to say is, like, you guys have, like, you make it hard for other gyms to compete. That's what I mean. You've ruined it for them. Because if they actually get the first service, if we can get every Fitness First member, every Anytime Fitness, any Jets, whatever gym, and give them 2 weeks of our service, I find it they'll be very hard to go back to where they were and paying what they were. So you ruin, like, because what we do is ridiculous. Like, the time and spent and effort that some of those boys put in, like, what Brad puts into Callum, like, what we put into all of our clients, not just it's not just certain clients, but, like, some of the work that we see is ridiculous. And it's not a bad thing. It's just how much we want to provide value towards our clients and how much we want to create that community to be strong. And we know if we create that strong community, that's just going to just feed and the ripple effect that's going to have on other people. Like, how many times do we get recommendations from people? Like Bianca coming in from Olivia, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's coming in from something. Divya's brought in 2 friends now.
Yeah,
starting to see results.
true.
And it's just moving and moving and moving. The gym's just getting bigger and bigger and more people are coming and coming because they're seeing what we're doing. Like, I remember talking to Bianca about her old PT. Didn't, like, do hardly anything. We do check-ins, program updates, nutrition. You know, when we're into the gym, our knowledge, we're vastly learning more things each week. We don't just go, okay, we're a PT, that's it. That's all we know. No. Each week, we're learning new things. Like Jose today, talking about, like, our skills, all about that. You know, talking about, okay, how are we going to prep for someone this? How are we going to do this? About their age, about, you know, their gym age, okay? We're always learning. So when people come to us, it's like, oh, Jesus, these guys just got more information and they're just rolling out more information. Like, I'm starting to talk about, I remember I first learned QLs in one of our first meetings. I brought it up today to Danella and she's like, what's a QL? I'm like, oh, here we go, come here. I know what a QL is. Like, most people don't even know that as a PT. Yeah. So Yeah, when I came to UHP, it was just like, oh, I only knew it as X Gym at the start. I didn't actually know UHP. It was like X Gym.
Oh, yeah.
So I came in, I'm like, okay. And then when I first got my client and Brad was telling me, I'm like sitting there going, what the fuck? I even went home to Jess. I was like, what's going on?
What?
Like, what are the check-ins, nutrition? I got to like update program regularly, send a video of my face. I didn't even do it for the first 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm not doing that. It's scary. You're like, what the hell? It's like so much. Now it's like, nah, like it's not enough. Like I used to send 2-minute check-ins. Now I'm like sending like to Loza the other day. It was like a 12-minute check-in. I was like, oh, nah, there's more information now. It's just like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like you guys ruined it for other PT gyms because it's like if someone sees what we can do and how we can transform people and actually the effort that we actually put in our clients, like, yeah, it's crazy. So the whole UHP changed my whole perspective of PTing. I think learning how you guys do it was, yeah, is the benchmark and it's really good. Like you learn from the top. No one goes, I want to be successful business. I'm going to learn from someone who's lost their business in 2 years. You go, I want to be Apple. I want to be this. I want to be Microsoft. You don't go, oh, how did like some other shop go down the road that shut down a year ago? Let's learn off them. Nah,
Advice.
nah,
Yeah.
you learn off the top. So it was good that I got in here. I'm glad.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah, I speak a lot, eh? I love speaking, so I'll just keep passing on, eh? It's good.
So when are you doing your 200 squat?
Next week, Brad? Question? No, I'd love to do it soon. Definitely in our program, I think I finish on 180. So the last 2 more weeks in this program, I don't see Brad keep going up by 5 kilo implements. I'd love it to, but I feel like he'll condition me a bit with those weights. Obviously, not hard. I'm in footy season now, so he's got to remember that. Like, I can't have heaps of volume, but I do feel like he's going to make me more comfortable with squatting maybe 150 for 3 or something like that. Like, I'm doing 140 for 3 now, 3 sets of 3, so I feel like he's going to keep that conditioning, trying to make sure that, like, you know, I get some conditioning around that. But I'd love to get my 200. That'd be gun. Like, it's something, like, I've done my 200 kilo deadlift in sumos, but haven't done 200 in squat, and, like, everyone always says it to me. They go, like, oh, it's 170. What's your best? I'm like, it's just 170. Like, oh, what? What? Surely you do more. No, I bench more than I squat. Like, only like 4 weeks ago, I benched more than I squat. Like, people come up to me and go, how much you squat? You don't want to know. And they'll be like, oh, it's going to be big. 100. And it's like, oh, no.
Where'd the big boom of strength come from?
I don't know. I think my mentality towards training has changed a lot. Because I used to train myself, right? And I used to do what I wanted to do. And I used to have my freedom. I used to go into the gym, no program, whatever, just bro work out. Probably why I probably got my muscle mass that I have now, and I've created that. But I never got pushed each week. So, for example, if I did 10 kilo dumbbell press, I'll do that for the next 6 weeks. I won't go up 12.5 for 8. I won't go up, change my rep range or total tonnage change. Nah. Stay the same. All right, and now when I have to do that, I'm starting to hit fatigue levels and tiredness, and it's like, oh, I can't be bothered. And there was one stage I was like, nah, I'm not training anymore. I think you remember it, and there was times I'll just give up. Nah, who cares? You know, my knees are sore. Doesn't matter. I'll train next week. I trained twice this week. Like, that's not me. Like, I'm not give up. I've learned that. Like, we're back at my old club as NGU. I got told that my whole life. Never give up. Never give up. No matter what you do, you just keep showing up. All right, so I felt bad about myself. I reflected on myself, and then I don't think that's where the hidden strengths come from. So don't people go, oh, I've got to just get hidden strength out of nowhere. I just got to find the philosophy. No, it's not it. It's I started putting in more the work, the more the rehab. Like, yeah, I'm not still the best at the rehab. Like, but you know, there was another day where I would just give up. But I was like, I'll push through this pain. All right, I got to nurse it. My patellas are sore. Couldn't squat to 60. Next thing you know, I squatted 165 for a top set.
Yeah.
What did I need to do? Roll out my quad. You know, hold tension through my tendon. You know, try and get that blood flow good. You know, try to make it get warm. Hold it at the bottom. When Brad said hold it at the bottom, I wanted to punch him. But what he did was the best thing for me. So, it wasn't hidden strength. I think it's just I've put in a lot of work now, and I start to see that that's what you need to get results. You can't just be okay, I'll just keep repping what I'm doing, and eventually I'll go there. Like, you've got to push yourself.
That's good. Well, speaking of, like, when you said, oh, yeah, bro workout, going to the gym, whatever. So training environment. So you used to go to fitness first after clients come back. So was that more of a convenience thing, or you actually feel as if, like, the training environment helps with other people around it?
So you mean
gym?
when I was at UHP?
Yeah, at UHP, like,
Yeah,
used
but
to
then I
go
went-
fitness first.
Yeah, fitness first sometimes.
And now
yeah.
it's like, oh no, I might actually train here.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just my regular gym. I felt comfortable in that gym. You guys were quite intimidating. Like, I'm not saying you guys made me feel not welcome. It was more the fact that you guys all lift differently than me. I never do that stuff. You guys are all like compounds and all this and form. And if I deadlift, I can see 4 eyes looking at me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? Back at my gym, I look like a god. Like, back there, I just rock up and the people are like, yeah, that's mad form. I'm like, yeah, hectic. You guys like 4 different things you need to do there, man. And I just felt comfortable, and it just probably was the norm. And then when I trained at X Gym, it was sort of like, oh no, nervous. Like, oh, what do people think? What are people going to judge me and stuff like this? But now it's a lot. Like, I don't feel that at all. Not at all. Like, it's fine. But I don't know what it was. I think it was just a comfort zone. Didn't want to get out of it. Back there is comfort zone. Trained there for 4 years, 5 years, whatever, how long I did, for ages. So I knew people there. The misso goes there. You know, I just knew the whole staff there. It was like, okay, sweet. Not saying you guys aren't welcoming. It's just don't like people taking me out my comfort zone without me wanting to come out of it.
So do you feel as if it helps at all? Like, say, for example, if you have a client that comes in or even yourself, like you said, like, oh, 4 things wrong and whatnot, do you feel as if that can potentially help if you're open to it? Or do you feel as if the training environment doesn't actually matter at all? Like,
training environment does matter. I think that's a very key thing. Training environment matters heaps. Okay, I think that is a massive thing for a lot of people joining the gym and what gyms they join. And there's a lot of, like, I'm not just saying this, it's for genders, for everything. So for example, like, I'll talk about Jess, for example. She's very comfortable at Macquarie at the start, and she wouldn't want to train anywhere else just because she was so comfortable. She understood who's there. Obviously, gender is a bit hard for girls and stuff, but I reckon if don't like your training environment, if you don't like the people around you, or the people don't make you feel welcomed, or you make you feel awkward, would you yourself go out in an awkward situation where you think people are not nice to you? Would you then go put yourself in that 2-hour situation? Don't think so. So why? I know you were trying to get the workout done, but why would you put yourself in that situation? Most people would withdraw themselves, and then they would have that negative effect on the gym. But it's not the gym's fault; it's the people that they're around. So I reckon gym environments are massive. If you can make a good community and have good people around, like when I used to walk in fitness first, I used to high five about 5 people. My workout went from an hour to about 2.5 hours. I wouldn't leave that place because I'd be talking to people about stupid stuff I wouldn't even know about.
yeah.
I couldn't even reclaim any of the messages I've been saying to them. But training environment matters heaps. It helps with motivation. It helps seeing people around you pushing themselves, and I think it just helps with your journey through the gym.
Yeah.
Like, you find someone like you aspire to be, or someone that they're ripping in. I'll rip in. You know what I mean? But if someone's mean to you, rude to you, do you want to go back in that situation? Don't think so. If someone bullied you at school, would you go up to that bully every day and be like, hey, hang out? Nah, you'd avoid it.
Yeah, it's true.
So, yeah.
So if you're not feeling comfortable in your training environment, maybe think about it.
Think about it. Think about what's wrong. Think about it. Is it the training environment, or is it you? Is it a personal thing, or is it an outside influence? You know, try and find what's going on there. Address it. Either address it or try and avoid it in somewhat. So I'm not trying to say just leave the gym. Address it first. Nothing's getting better. And yeah, you might have to move, or might have to see what's going wrong, or might have to just segregate your times with not seeing that person, or seeing, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Sweet.
So, first grade. So we did say we'd link back to this.
Oh, yeah. Bushka.
For those that are listening and they don't know what's so good about it, let's say, heaps of them.
Yeah, heaps of you boys.
Is it just one step up from second grade, right? Like, someone might say, like, second grade?
Well, technically it is.
Just one step up.
Technically it is.
And then that's just one step up from third grade. Like, what's the big deal? Or
So, yeah, people will say that. It's like, oh, it's just a step up. And technically they are correct. It's the next step up. Like, if you look at the staircase, it goes third, seconds, first. Like, there's no difference about it. But when it comes to be a first grader and when it comes to be a second grader and a third grader and fourth grader, vastly different things. Okay? Vastly different things. So a lot of it is everyone, I say in their own right, can strive to be a first grader. Obviously, it comes with a lot of hard work to be a first grader. Like, some of the boys are actually quite gifted. Some of them just fall into place because they're a talented football player. They've got the size, they've got all the attributes, they've got the speed, they've got the knowledge. But remaining a first grader for a very long time, very hard. Okay, becoming a first grader, easy. Easy. You just got to get an opportunity. Injuries, stuff. You can just be, oh, yep, play 2 first grade games. Yep, sweet. How long do you play for? 10 years? Okay. Are you a first grader or are you just a fill-in? Like, being a consistent first grader is a massive thing. The dedication, the hard work you got to put in. And some people don't cherish it. I know that. Some people are at shoot shield level going, oh, this is an easy league. For some of them, they're Super Rugby boys. They got the talent to play Super Rugby. For some other people, first grade's a massive step. Like, playing in first grade, holding that standard, playing against a long comp, 19-round comp. 19 rounds. That's not including finals.
Versus what?
Like, what do you mean? Like, versus so.
What's second grade or third?
So second grade will still play the same, but third grade and fourth grade won't play as many games these days. They, like, for example, like, we're going up to Newcastle this week. Third grade and fourth grade don't play because they don't have a team.
Yeah.
Parramatta might not have a team. West Harbour might not have a team. So there you go. There's already 3 games. How many times do we play Hunters? I think we played Newcastle twice. So there you go. They missed 2 weeks. So you play 19 rounds against the best of that area. Like, you're always playing, and when you play Shoot Shield, there's Super Rugby boys that are getting dropped down from the Waratahs that are coming to play. Like, this week, I'm pretty sure there was like 8 Waratah boys from the New South Wales side returned to Shoot Shield level. So you'll be playing against people that are actually playing against internationals. So it's not just like it's a first grade, that's it, like Division 1. Like, this is the top pack of the boys. This is the next stage to New South Wales Waratahs. This is the funnel that goes to the top. And once you're at the Waratahs, you can play for your country. So that's how vast the steps are. So when they say second grade, first grade, like, it's a big thing. But being in there, really hard, tough footy players everywhere. It's great experience to learn off people. You're going to be being with veterans that have been there for 100 caps, and you're going to be playing with people that are just about to start.
100 caps is in games?
Yeah, 100 games for their club. You know what I mean? It's just like, they've been around this rodeo. They've probably played against some of the world's, like, Australia's best in New South Wales.
So that could be like 5 years plus. Because 19 games a comp.
Yeah.
If they do grand finals, it's 20.
Yeah, there you go. And there you go. That's 5 years they've been consistently in first grade. Imagine the talent that you've seen in 5 years. Like, you've been open for a business for, a year. Some of the turnovers you'll see, some of the people you'll come through and stuff like that, and the people that you grow with it. There's, like, probably, let's say you guys have 300 members, 300 new people. Let's say you grow at that rate each year. Straight away, that's 1,500 people you've different. So let's say they played against the young bucks, the new, the old, veterans, everything. So maintaining a spot in first grade is a massive thing. And being a first grader is a massive achievement for me because, it's something that I've wanted to be for the rest of wanted to do for the rest of my life. I always wanted to play for Eastwood at the end of the day. I know it might hurt other people hearing that, like, I did go to Gordon and stuff, but Eastwood was where I've always wanted to play. I've always wanted to play at TG. I'm very sad it's going to get knocked down, but we're moving just down the road, so it helps. But I've always wanted to be an Eastwood first grader, so knocking that goal off, it's a massive thing in my life. I know, people are like, oh, I'll be the Wallabies and stuff. Like, I'd love to be a Wallaby, mate, but unfortunately, like, that's not. Right now, it's not me. It doesn't mean it can't be me. I'm not giving up on that. I could play for the Waratahs, maybe. Maybe people listen to this going, you got no hope, but I don't care. I'll give it a go. You're young once, fuck. Who gives a shit what they say? You just got to keep going, keep showing up. You keep showing up, you're going to get an opportunity eventually. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, congrats on the debut.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Bradley Mann came down and watched me, which is good. A few of the boys came down. It was a great day. It was a very special day in my heart. Like, it was a really good day. So I was really happy to get that done, and especially at TG, get a win against East. Like, it's not like he went on for 20 minutes. Like, I went on for a good 20 minutes against a side which is not a walkover side, and to get the W there. 22-17. I remember it. Here we go.
You won't forget it.
Nah, no way.
Well, leading off of rugby again, what's the mentality of a rugby player in your eyes? Is everyone different, or is there a certain grit or like anger or whatever it is that you have to be, say, either quite good or at least some observation you've had to be like, oh, these sorts of people are quite good? Or is it just like, say, for example, I can give lifting. There's different types of lifters. Some people angry, calm, in the middle, like rugby players?
Rugby players, exactly like that. Vast range of people. Vast. Like, you can have especially with union, you can have all different body types, all different personalities. Okay, and I think it's even with league and every other sport, vast different people. Okay, so with me, mentality, I feel you got to be, I don't know how to describe it, to make people describe it like an SAS guy. Like, I feel like as a rugby player, your mentality needs to be like just next job, next thing. Like, just your attitude just has to be like a animal, beast. Like, I would sort of swear, but a CUNT, like, that's what you got to be sometimes. You do have to be it. You just got to be a different breed of fish. All right? To be the best and to look at the world's best, they're just a different breed. They'll keep getting up. Like, you look at people like Kobe, you look at all those guys like MJ, and you hear about them. If you want to be the best rugby player, you want to be the best player on that field, you got about 15 different people on the other side that you got to beat. You just got to be a different cut. So you got to have it. It's a little like you got to have a bit of everything. You got to have a bit of animal in you. You got to be calm and collected when it comes to it. You know, you got to be able to go when you need to go. You need to be able to just not stop. Like, you just got to get up. Like, if your opposition, like, you should be looking at
NGU.
NGU, never give up. Exactly. You should look at your opposition and go, every second you're on the floor, I'm up. You stay on 3 seconds, I'm up on 2. You get up on 1, I'm not even down. That's what you got to do. You just got to beat them. You just got to have that mentality. Like, you're not going to beat me today. I don't care how big, how tough, how strong, how much weight you've done. This, in my mind, will beat you every day of the week. I will get up and I will beat you, and I'll beat you. Like, you can smash me 1,000 times, but guess what? 1,001 time I'm going to stand up and I'm going to keep going. And you're not going to get me down. Even though you might think you will because you've got the strength, but I'm going to keep going and keep going until you mentally give up. Like, oh, fuck, I can't even tackle this guy anymore. I've smashed him that many times. I've hurt him that many times. He's still going.
I hit him so hard. I thought
I
I
hit him
knocked
so
him
hard, I
out.
thought I knocked him out. No, I'm still here. That's what you got to be. Okay? And it really helps if you're in a team environment which you have everything. Because you got to have the people that are calm and collected. There's people in the sheds that hit their heads like, oh, here we go, here we go. There's people in the sheds that just singing and dancing. There's people that don't even care. There's people that just want to chill out. There's people that want to go, don't want to talk to anyone. People listen to music. You're going to have everyone. And you've got to all learn to connect as a team. And you've got to use each other to help each other. So, for example, there's going to be someone who's a hothead, but someone that can really talk well. Talk to that boy. You're the one that's going to get through to him. I can't go to him because I'll shout at him. I'll be like, come on, mate, don't do that. Switch. He'll turn off me. Nah, stuff you. Someone other goes, yeah, bro, you're on the right. Just calm it down. We've got 10 minutes left. I need you on this field. I need you here. All right, sweet. So captain's got a big role because he's got a lot of personality. So to be a first grade player or to be an elite rugby player, you got to have everything, all right? And you got to be able to use it when you need to at your disposal, and you just got to be able to, that's the main thing. You got to have everything, and you got to be able to use it when you need it. So for sometimes you might be losing a game. Is there a point to smack some guy really super hard and get a yellow card? No, there's not.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So you need to have a bit of everything.
So speaking of that, and I know you sort of gave a nice detailed overview of sort of what you have to be.
Yeah, I talk a bit.
One person up, one step ahead. Always get back up. NGU, that sort of mentality.
Yep.
But is any sort of value or piece of advice, let's say, like in terms of, let's just cap it at that, for someone trying to take the next step in their sporting career, whether it be sort of mentality or way to look at things, or it's maybe someone who's like, oh, I'm trying my best, but things aren't getting through. You seem to have made a breakthrough within the last year.
Yeah.
Injured, sweet, that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, get sad, all right. Demotivated training, sweet, that happens. And then it's like, oh, now I'm in first grade.
You've just answered it right there. And exactly your question, you've just answered your own question. It's resilience. It's 100%. It's going to hit you every day of your life. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get told that you can't make it. You're too small. You're not big enough. You're not strong enough. You're never going to be better. It's always someone bigger and better. You always get told that in your life. Every time. Remember when you're always going to fight? It's always someone bigger and better and stronger than you. It's like, okay, but you just got to keep going. Because those bigger and better people won't just keep going. You'll keep going. You just got to have that motor and that. Look, there was this one thing that I said at the start of this year, and it was my motivational thing for this year, okay? And I won't go into it too much, but it's sort of like, I'll give you a quick description. There's a horse and a man in the woods, right? And the man goes, they're trying to find their way out and they've been stuck for years. Can't find it. And he just wants to give up. And the horse goes, can you see your feet? The man goes, yeah, I can. And he goes, just take the next step. The man that's willing to take the next step and keep going and not look at the vision at the end. Because everyone's looking at the end goal. I want to get out. How are you going to get there? You're not just going to get it. If you want it, you're just not going to get it. When are you ever going to get it? You're never going to get it in life until you work for it. The man that's willing to go on the journey through the hard times will get there. The man that's willing to go, okay, I've walked 100 miles. I've got spikes in my foot. I'm going to give up. Nah, get up, go again. Oh, it's getting cold now. Get up and go again. Oh, it's getting warm now. Oh, get up and go again. You found the end because you kept walking. The person that's going to go in circles and be like, oh no. It's resilience. You got to keep bouncing back, not give up. Not give up. I know you hear this, you hear all these inspirational quotes, people sit there and go, I'm inspiration, and the next day they give up. You got to look in yourself, look in the mirror, and there's another one that I always say to myself, I don't want to be that guy at the pub that sits down, 8 of his best mates, and goes, oh, I could have made it. Back in my day, I could have been the best rugby player. You hear it all the time. Every time I go out, you got one bloke, oh, you play rugby? Back in my day, it was harder. It's like, but you're here. You're here right now. You're not there. If you were there, you wouldn't be here. So don't be that guy that sits at the pub. Be the guy that goes, I'm there. I've done it. Done it, man. Good luck with your job. I could have been that guy. No. You be that guy. And that's what I say. Resilience, bounce back, don't give up in what you believe in. All right? There's always going to be opportunity no matter what age you get to. Just keep going. All right? And no matter what, believe in yourself, because that's the only person at the end of the day you look in the mirror. You're not trying to, don't compete with anyone else. If you beat yourself every day in the mirror and you get 1% better, that's 365% better every year. You keep going like that. If you hear anything about interest rates or anything about money, if I told you can go 300, if I said you put money on this thing, 365% every year, you're going to do it, aren't you? So just get 1% better every day.
One step at a time.
One step. Next step, baby.
Wow, that's good advice.
I know, I sound like a little modern day guru, eh?
Yeah.
I sit here and hear my own voice. I'm like, Jesus.
One step at a time.
Yeah. I know it sounds cliche.
The horse said to the farmer.
Yeah, the walker, whatever.
1% a day.
Just one step. Just take your next step. If you take a step every day, you're going to go further than what you are if you don't take a step. But look, when people listen to this, they go, oh, cliche, hear this before. Yeah, right, fair enough. And that's the mentality you don't want. You don't want to be like, oh, yeah, I've heard this before. Yeah, next step, whatever, blah, blah.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Nike's got the best thing. Just do it. That's what you got to do. Like, how are you so successful in your business? And you might sit here and be like, oh, I'm not. Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But look what you did. You took the next step. You take risks. People probably told you, you can't have the cheapest prices. You can't have the best service. You can't be the best gym. You can't do this. This service is not good. But what are you doing? You just take the next step. Don't worry. That's my goal. I'm taking the next step. I don't care what you guys. They're shouting shit at you. You get your head down. Next step. Next day, this is happening. And now you're making those steps forward to be what you want to be. Mate, when did you think at the age of, what are you, 25?
Yeah.
You're going to, have 14, 15 employees working for you? You're going to have a gym opened? You know what I mean? You probably thought about it, but you did the steps to get there. It didn't just happen.
Yeah, I guess that's a big one. A lot of people sort of, they get turned off by step. Like, so how many steps? 1,000? Oh, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was one big step.
You just kept doing it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And that's probably why you are where you are now. You've probably done exactly what I've done, but in the rugby terms. I've done it in rugby. I got pushed back, told no. And you've done it in the PT eyes and the business eyes. You've gone, people tell you, oh, no, you can't get a good gym, can't find a good space, can't do this, can't do that, won't be good. But you got people paying for it now. People are coming. People are showing up. You know, I wouldn't work for you if I didn't believe in you. I'd give up on it if I didn't see any potential. So exactly what you're doing, same as a footy player, they need to do. I feel like business, any sports and business relates super well with each other.
Oh, yeah.
And correlates super well.
100%. Okay, so sporting people out there, one step at a time.
Yeah, one step, baby.
You don't get to that end goal one big leap.
Nah.
You got to put one foot in the mud.
Just chip away. Just keep chipping at it.
Well, that's a great conclusion, I think.
Oh, mate, this has been great. I've loved this.
You loved it?
I did love it, mate. You should get me on more.
Oh,
if
next
everyone
week.
wants to listen to me. Right, hopefully everyone listens to me.
Yeah, there was some good advice in there, but
Yeah,
thanks
hopefully.
heaps, Harry.
Nah, you're right,
And
mate.
once
Thank
again,
you very
congratulations.
much. Cheers, mate. I appreciate
Round
it.
15.
Round 15 against Norths.
Norths. Everyone
Jack
come to
Brouhaha.
Oh, let's see if he listens to it.
Nah, he definitely.
All right, thanks, Harry.
All right, mate. See ya.